Okay, I thought I'd do another video today, kind of comparing the SAR K2-45 and the Sig Sauer P227. I got a lot of interest in my last video when I compared the SAR K2 to the FNX45 Tactical, and I thought I would just kind of do a comparison in another handgun I own, which is the Sig. They're both high-capacity 45s, both semi-automatic, both double action, single action, and I think they compare very well. So I thought I would just hit some of the highlights, show some comparisons, see how they stack up against each other. Now, before I get started, I do want to say that both these have been safety checked and are cleared. You can see right there, cleared, clear, nothing in the magazines. For all the safety folks out there, I did make sure these are clear before I did the video. So I covered this in my last video, but the Sarsilmaz, I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's pronounced. This is produced in Turkey. It's imported here into the United States by EAA. It is a full-size duty handgun, definitely a big 45. Comes with one magazine, 14 rounder. As far as I know, they're not planning on importing any other magazines of any other sizes. So nothing bigger, nothing smaller, just these 14 rounders. And these are flush fit mags, and they are excellent quality. Made in Italy by Metgar, and they just, they're great. They're a little expensive. They run about $40 to $45 when you combine them, and they're a little tough to find. But you really only need, I have 5 of these, and I go through them, and I put probably close to 7,000 rounds through this gun now, and I've had no issues, no failures to feed, no failures to eject, anything like that. So these are just excellent quality, as well as the firearm itself is just excellent quality. I covered some of these things last time, but the SAR does have a rail. You can see right there. It does have that front, I want to say it's not checkering, but it does have serrations here on the front of the trigger guard, as well as on the front of the grip and the back strap. As I said in the previous video, the grips leave a lot to be desired. They feel kind of cheap in the hand. They get the job done though, to be honest, and they've held up. The stippling is great on them. I just wish they had aftermarket options. The grip just feels great. It's for a double stack 45. It's honestly one of the best handguns I've ever held. It just fits the hand very well. It doesn't feel like you're reaching. The single action is super easy to reach. Double action's a little far, but what do you expect when you're holding 14 rounds of 45 in your hand? So it's actually not that bad, but I've kind of just gotten used to it. As I said in the previous video, the single action is just excellent. It's a little bit of a take up and then a break. Literally, it's just a great trigger. Even the double action isn't bad. So you can see I have a little bit of reach here, but it's smooth. It's it hits that wall, then it breaks. Great trigger. And you'll also notice it does have a manual safety. So once the safety is engaged, trigger will not function. Take it off, it's going to function. It is only a single-sided safety, so it's not ambidextrous. It does have adjustable sights, and as I said last time, I had to adjust the rear sight all the way to the right as it was printing a little left for me. And once I moved it all the way to the right, I was right on, dead on. They are just 3-dot system. They're not night sights, so that may kill it for some folks. But I don't really have a need for night sights on this, and I kind of use it as a range toy, and it's just supremely accurate. It's definitely a match grade barrel on here, all stainless steel. It just shoots like a dream. I've taken it all the way out to 50, and I was putting them in pretty good sized groups at 50. It's a great shooter. Now we also have the P227 from Sig Sauer. This is one of their new offerings, not super new. I think they came out about 2 years ago. They have this base model, which comes with a 10-round magazine. They also have the TAC Ops, and I think they may have another model out there as well with a threaded barrel. And so they're coming out with other models just like Sig Sauer always does. But this is basically their full-size 45 that's a double stack. They also have the P220, which is a single stack that they've had in their inventory for a long time. As you can see, it does have a decocker, so no manual safety on this one. And that is only on one side as well. So this is not an ambidextrous firearm either. Has standard 3-dot sights. They also have models with night sights as well. And I think they even had one with maybe a fiber optic front sight from TrueGlow, if I remember correctly, on the TAC Ops model. And so I'm not familiar with those sights, but you know, these get the job done for me as well. I do kind of wish the rear sight was adjustable. It hits to the point of aim, but you never know. You know, I prefer adjustable sights. Let me just say that. It does have the same rail, just like the SAR K2 does. Both have 3-position Picatinny rails on them. It also has checkering right here on the front strap, as well as on the trigger guard, and then none on the back, because this is the E2 grip from Sig Sauer, which is basically just a wraparound grip. It feels good in the hand. I'll give that to Sig Sauer. I actually prefer these grips definitely over the SAR K2. They feel better in the hand, and I like the checkering. It's not too aggressive. It just keeps it in the hand, which I like. And then even the reach isn't too bad. So the double action is pretty smooth, and it's not far out there. My finger, you know, gets right on the trigger, right on the pad of the finger. It's not bad at all. And then the single action, the only thing I don't like about the single action is it's so far to the rear on the handgun. And I feel like if it was, you know, if it broke right here, it'd be all right, but you've got to pull it all the way to the frame for it to break. It's light, I'll give it that, and you know, it works. It's just, it's a little awkward for me when you have to pull all the way to the frame on the single action. Let me try to show you that again. So this is almost the frame right there, and then as I touch the frame, it breaks. So you're pulling it pretty far back to get that to break. Now let's go ahead and compare the sizes. Let me try to set this down and I'll show you the sizes. Okay, so the grip sizes are basically identical. They feel basically the same. I will have to give it to the Sig Sauer that it feels a little better. The height, exactly the same. They are exactly the same height. And then let's go ahead and put them on top of each other. So this is the SAR on top of the Sig Sauer. And you can see that trigger sits a little further back on the Sig Sauer, and that kind of helps with the reach. So the SAR is definitely a little longer, but it's not, you know, way out there. And I have medium-sized hands, so it's not that bad for me. Now, the barrel lengths, they're about equal. The length of each one is about equal. I prefer the beaver tail actually on the SAR. That helps me get a little higher on it, and I feel it sits a little lower in the hand. The Sig Sauer, like anything else, they're a little high as far as bore axis, and you get a little bit more muzzle flip out of it. So I don't know if that affects you or not. It affects me a little bit. My follow-up shots aren't quite as quick, and it helps me get back on target a little faster with the SAR K2. Now, I guess another big contention point is the Sig Sauer, which has magazines made in Italy as well by Metgar. These are only 10-round mags, and these are the flush fit mags for the Sig Sauer. So let me go ahead and put that in. So both are flush fitting mags. The SAR K2 has a 14-round capacity, and the Sig Sauer has a 10-round capacity. Now, Sig Sauer does have 14-round magazines for the P227, but they stick out. It's about that far, about 2 inches down. So you're going to have a pretty big amount of magazines sticking out if you went with the same capacity as the SAR K2. So in my opinion, you know, capacity, the winner is the SAR K2. You're still maintaining that similar size, but you're not, you know, you don't have a big magazine sticking out the bottom of your handgun. So I had to give it to the SAR for that. As far as accuracy, they both shoot very well, but in my opinion, the SAR is better. The single action trigger on it is just better for me, and I shoot more accurately with it. Now, I haven't put as many rounds through the P227 as I have the SAR. I've put about 500 through the P227 so far, and it's a great gun, but I'm just a lot more accurate with the SAR. And you know, I think the barrel quality, to be honest, is better. And you know, a lot of people tout Sig Sauer as, you know, a great fit and finish. Well, I'm here to tell you, you know, the Turkish guns, they are excellent. And the SAR, in my opinion, is, you know, of equal quality to the Sig Sauer. Now let's talk about price again. I picked up the SAR for around $350. I want to say maybe up to $400, somewhere around there. I can't remember the exact amount. I'd have to look at my invoice again. But it's somewhere between $350 and $400, and it only comes with one magazine. Now I did pick up the Sig Sauer for close to $700, and it came with 2 magazines. So you're getting a little bit more value on the magazines there, but for the price difference, you could basically pick up 2 of these SAR K2s for the same amount as you can, you know, for one of these Sig Sauer P227s. And, you know, so in my opinion, the value is better on the SAR K2. Now, some folks are more interested in aftermarket accessories and parts and support and holsters and things like that. I can tell you right now, the SAR has very little aftermarket support. It's not a huge seller. It's a Turkish gun. It hasn't caught on with the market, you know, yet, but you know, you basically get what you get in the box and anything you can find as far as magazines if you scour the web. The P227, you know, Sig has tons of accessories. You can buy magazines from their site. You can buy them from tons of vendors. There's holsters out there. I think most of the P226 holsters fit these. So aftermarket, you know, the Sig wins hands down. Now, a lot of people prefer decocker to safety. I go either way. You know, to be honest, I don't really care. Either one works for me. Either one is a fine manual of arms, and I've learned to shoot both of them. I usually do prefer a decocker if I'm going to choose a carry gun, but I would never carry either one of these guns. These would be ones that I would put in my nightstand, and you know, I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, decocking or, you know, having the safety. You know, it's just something that I wouldn't worry about. So, you know, in my opinion, it's kind of a wash between both of them. And personally, if I had to choose one to put in my nightstand to protect me at night, it would be the SAR. And the real reason behind that is I got 14 rounds in here versus I've got 10. Now, I could also put an extended magazine in here and have 14 plus 1 in this as well. It's just, I feel this is a better value when you get a flush fit magazine and you get, in my opinion, as equal or better quality in a handgun for much less money. I would still choose the SAR over the Sig Sauer P227. You know, I'll go ahead and finish this up and say both of these are great choices. I kind of want to just make some comparisons between them, show the similarities, show the differences, and let you guys decide. You know, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments on the video, and I'll try to respond. I'll try to, you know, give you any answers I can on it. And if it warrants enough, I'll make another video and try to show some more comparisons and maybe even the breakdown if you guys would like that. But thanks as always for watching, and I hope that helps.